Welcome along everybody, we are now at round 2 of our Honda Master Series, and for this one, race 1 here, we are using the RA272-65, a very tricky car to handle. Tiny little tyres as you can see, very hard to keep the car stable, but we'll get into a lap, see how we get on. I've done this one in custom race, so it will be the same settings as the race itself, so it'll give a good representation of a good time. Let's get into the lap, here we go. Coming up to the first turn, what we're going to be doing is we're just going to be lifting off a little bit of brake, and we're going to stay in 5th gear, and we're going to let it run out wide and then cut back into the curb if we can. So let it run wide, then cut back onto the curb, especially the second one here. Get on the power as soon as you can. As you can see, little corrections all the time with this one. Very tricky car. Up to 6th gear, coming up to the corner here. Now the two hardest corners on the track coming up, what we're looking at is just at this white markings on the tarmac, just before the marshal post there on the left hand side. We are going to brake and go down to 5th gear. As you can see, we're in 5th now. And we're just going to try and coast through the corner, keeping a good speed around about 115 to 120. And then you want to stay to the right for the next one. Here we go. 120, and then here, just at the escape road on this side, we are going to change down to 4th gear, as you can see, fully on the brakes in a straight line. And we're going to look for about 90 miles an hour if we can through this one. Not too bad. As you can see, I've done in custom race, so I put on some opponents. Here we are looking for the end of the trees. Here's pretty much it on the left hand side, and as you can see, I'm fully braking now. Down to 3rd and then up again to 4th. So we're around about 70 meters out. Down to 3rd, up to 4th, or maybe I stay in 4th, but it is 4th through the double right hander here because the car does get slidey. Here we go. Down to 3rd, up to 4th, stay in 4th. Go out wider if you need to. Well, that was fine. Up in 5th, as you can see, I've done it in custom race to give us a good representation of the lap time we'll be doing. Now coming up to the double right, we are braking just here at the end of this escape road. And we're going to down to 4th. I'm going to try and stay in 4th and carry as much speed as we can through the double. So you want to miss the first apex, go out wide, and then make sure you cut back for the second one if you can. Now this one I'm doing in 4th, and I want to try to stay about 80 miles an hour on the way out. So here we go. Miss the first one, cut onto this one. Yeah, that's fine. And again, we're looking for a white spot just there, just before the grandstand starts. We are starting to brake and we go down to 3rd, and you want to coast through this chicane best you can, around about 70 miles an hour, 65 if you can. Here we go. Oh, very slow through there. There's time to be made there for sure. And then it's just a big run to the line. 119.1. We will be doing 118s in the race, I think. So what we'll do is we'll go back one lap. And we'll go out of car and just show you how tricky it gets. Hold on, that's better. Here we go. So just lifting off a little bit of brake, just get the car turned. Car will start to understeer out, but you'll be okay if you use a bit of throttle. Keep yourself going. And that is showing the true tyre wear for this race, because I did put it on ×3, which it will be for race 1. So 8 laps in, it's not bad on the tyres, this wee thing, even though it's slidey. Down to 4th here, cut right in. Could have carried more speed, but because I had traffic, I kept it a little bit slower. I should have had a wider entry here, would have carried more pace, and used the outside curb as well to keep the car on track. But that's okay. Tiny bit of slipstream there, get us on the way. Looking for the end of the escape road, there it is. Braking. Could carry a little bit more speed, so it's a little bit of work to be done here for me. Especially through this one. That was far too tentative through there. But it won't be in the race. I will get some more laps in. So that is part one. Our second race for this round is at Brsnds Hatch in the NSX GR3. So we'll go right there in a moment. Okay everyone, we're now ready for race 2. We're at Brsnds Hatch, as you can see, on the Honda NSX. So we'll get right into our view for this one. We've got our details on. Let's get into it. Staying left for best entry at the corner here. We are braking just at the 200 board here on the left hand side, as you can see. And we're going to stay wide and then cut back in. So down to third, cut back in, get on the power as soon as you know you're safe. Use all this curb. Under the bridge, we are just starting to brake in a straight line all the way down to first and keep a tight line here on the hairpin. Here we go. Up to second on exit. Push hard on exit, use all this curb, and we're looking for the one board here. As we're in third, we drop down to second. We're just going to dab the brakes, cut down to about 70 miles an hour, and then boot it out the curb here. Up to third, up to fourth. Now we're looking for the one board for the left-hander here. And we're going to try and brake in a straight line. As you can see, I'm just starting to brake, and we go down to second. And this one is a nice tight corner. You can actually exit this one in second. So down to second, hold it, hold it. There's the line, get on the power. Use all the curb if you need to. Get over to the left-hand side. Ready for a very fast flowing right-hander, which if you get the braking wrong is horrible. So we're braking just after the 2 board. Fully braking. We're going to try and take this apex at about 105 miles an hour. So here we go. Cut in. A bit slow there. I've done it faster. Now we're looking at the red marshal point here. This is our braking point for this one. This is a very fast and flowing lap, so there's not much time to relax in between corners. As you can see, just starting to brake. We're going to go down to third and cut onto the curb, but not too much, as it will be a penalty in the race. So down to third, use all the runoff. Now coming up to Sheen, this is very, very tricky. As you can see, we're at the one board. We're going to brake and turn down to third gear. And you want to cut right onto this corner here and use best speed for runoff through the corner. Here we go. Yeah, could have been doing about 90 miles an hour there. Looking for the one board here. And we're going to brake and chop down to second, I think I go for. Yeah, down to second, up onto third. Use all the curb and get right on the power. Now, once again, I've done this as a custom race. So I do have traffic ahead. But that's fine. So we're braking just before the one board there, and we're powering out. I did have to lift off a wee bit because of the traffic, but that's a 127.1, and as you'll see for tyre wear, that is the tyre wear we will be going with. It's ×5 for this one in the NSX. So we'll go out of car, do it all again. There's the 2 board. So as ×5 tyre wear, on this one, we will be a 50-minute endurance for the NSX this week, so it is going to be 3 pit stops possibly, maybe more if people are doing double stints on softs, but we'll see how it goes. Once again, our league brought to you by LWR Design, DMJ Vroom Room aka Vroom Room Gaming, myself, WPR Hotlap, and DDR, the D.Racing family. I hope you enjoy this one. And new up and running page we have, the DMJ Sim Hub, which we're using for all sorts of racing games and content. So if you're interested in joining leagues, making leagues, getting them out there, getting them noticed, go to DMJ Sim Hub, and I'm sure you'll find many racers willing to take you on. Now this is a very quick full lap here of Brsnds Hatch. It's always full on here. It's always tricky overtaking. But what we'll do is we'll stop for this one. We'll have a look here That's where my braking point is, just before the one board. Down second, up to third on exit, and it gives you a great run towards the line, as you can see. That was round 2 for you. I hope you enjoyed that one. Very tricky courses, very tricky cars, especially the RA272. But I'm sure you'll enjoy it. I'm sure you'll get into it. And we'll see you soon for the next one. Bye all.